Whoa, yo, okay, everybody. This is today the slice. We're doing a rant about the Batman Arkham Knight. This is mostly more me of just complaining about how I think the Arkham Knight was a great disappointment.
Let it out, Gabby.
It was a.
I love that game.
It was. You never even played
I
it,
know,
man.
right?
You're not even a Batman fan.
Yeah, Mr. Blue Blunder. Anyways,
Boy Scout.
Boy Scout. Anyway, Batman Arkham Knight, basically a part of the franchise that is known from Batman Arkham Asylum, also from Batman Arkham City.
Origins.
How many
Origins.
have there been?
4?
4?
Counting Origins?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can technically count it as like its origin story, literally.
Asylum City.
And Night. Yeah, and then obviously there's stupid little mobile game. Oh yeah, and Blackgate and the mobile games, right?
Oh, Blackgate is the mobile game.
Oh yeah, but then they have one too with the villains. You could be villains. Remember, it was on the phone.
Was it phone or you could play like a shooting game with poses?
Or you could be Scarecrow. You could.
Oh
be,
yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, pretty much me just thinking that the game was meh. It was disappointing. Coming out after from Origins, which Origins was not made from Rocksteady. Rocksteady basically made Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. They didn't make Origins. It was made by a Warner Brothers company in Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Canadians, eh?
That's why you never give it to the Canadians.
It was a good game, though.
Oh, it was a badass game.
I think the only problem with that one that made me kind of like, why? Was that they brought the Joker as the main villain again. And I was fine with Black Mask. Leading up to from the trailer all the way to the game, I was like, yeah, Black Mask. Like, he seemed like he was just gonna like, I want to get rid of Batman no matter what. He, ordered assassins to come after. I would have been okay with if Joker would have been an assassin or would have been a side villain. Or at the end, he comes out at the end as a surprise, like, like the origin, he comes in. A twist. But that's to another story. I still think Batman Origins did a fucking wonderful job.
With the boss fights?
Yeah, so boss fights were nice. So anyways, this is not about Batman Arkham Origins.
Stop talking about the good stuff.
Yeah, so anyways, I guess I'll start off with the whole main plot of the story was Gotham City is being terrorized by by the Scarecrow again. But this time he has friends. He makes this
Does he?
Yeah, which apparently Scarecrow got everybody to join him. It's like, let's go kill the Batman.
But
do they? And then Cruz is helping me out because Cruz knows too. And then
I hate this game.
Basically, Scarecrow meets up with this dude called the Arkham Knight, which pops out of nowhere, and he just given himself the name Arkham Knight for some apparent reason. And obviously, I think we find out later on why they call themselves Arkham Knight, right? Do we really?
Why?
Do we care?
No. So, anyways, basically, the whole time you're just kind of doing what you did in Batman Arkham City and Asylum. You're basically going through the main title, Actually, Arkham City did it, right?
Yeah.
And Origins too, where there's the main story and then all the other side missions, which was like, hey, there's other shit going on in this part of the city, which was fun. Side missions, and then all of them were villains from the Batman Rogue Gallery, which was fun. And this one did the same thing, but it was more. It's weird because they were talking about how in this one all the villains teamed up on to attack Batman.
Well, that's what the trailer made it look like.
And no one teamed up with no one. Like, apparently they all just give each other gears and stuff, but it never felt like it. Like, you never felt like Batman was up against Two-Face, the Riddler, Penguin at the same time. It
was just cameos.
No, not cameos.
No, they're in the game.
They're in the game, but you're
not fighting them together. You're just like one by one.
It didn't look like they were like teamed up. Like
okay. Like you expected there to be like some big fight,
or like a whole every villain seemed like they just had their own side mission. They were never a part of the main.
They were just in the game, but they weren't.
What we got in
part
Spider-Man
of the story.
Yeah,
is what we wanted in Arkham Knight.
Yeah, like what Spider-Man did right was they had every villain, but they were a part of the story.
Yeah.
Like they weren't a part of a side mission like how
Penguin.
From Spider-Man it was Screwball or or what's his face Taskmaster, which I was okay with that. But I mean, you had big villains involved in the plot, and they weren't involved in the plot. They were just kind of like, oh yeah, Two-Face is stealing money on that side. It's like apparently they're trying to make you feel like, oh, he's up against all these villains, and
They were trying to do the long Halloween.
he was gonna get tired of it, and he's gonna be worn out from the whole night. Yeah, like a long night for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like Arkham City. You did the same shit. You basically saved the city. I mean, the area that they closed out from all these villains around the city and around that area, and then you still beat Ra's al Ghul and Joker. Like, come on, like.
If you beat the main bad guy, Two-Face is still robbing that bank.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He did that. It's still running around. So
Yeah.
you didn't really, did you?
Did you?
And I mean, some of the stuff that was just kind of like, you know,
It was repetitive.
It felt repetitive at times. There's some pros that I liked about the game. The Batmobile, they finally brought it up since Arkham, the first Arkham. They're like, "Where's the Batmobile? Damn it!" And like they finally said, "Oh, the night when it has great graphics." By the way, the game looked beautiful.
Yeah.
The game is
Graphic was beautiful.
nice. It's amazing. But like everything else was just kind of like story wise. Paul Dini, by the way, wrote the first one. Paul Dini, by the way, is the man who was in charge. Was a part of the Batman animated series that made it so fun. Yes, he was in charge of Freakazoid. Freakazoid. And you know, and he was also Batman Beyond.
Didn't we also read a few things for Animaniacs?
Yeah, he did. He also did. So it's funny because I would think when he left, I think that's when their story just kind of like, because they had different writers.
Yeah, wasn't it after like season 4 or season 3 when it had that whole when it looked different?
Yeah. And then, he was a part of season 4 actually. He was. I think he did some stories. I think they showed him. I'm not too sure. You can't quote me.
Don't quote us on this.
Yeah, but I know for sure in the Batman Arkham series, he made one Arkham, the first one, and Arkham City, which was those games were masterpieces.
Lovely.
Yes, like literally.
What is it? How is it you do it?
Wonderful, beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think it inspired a lot of like I think it inspired like Spider-Man. Oh yeah, right. They were talking about the Spider-Man PS4 creators were like, oh, like we wanted to make games like Arkham City and Arkham Asylum because you know that not a lot of superhero games are always that successful. You know, some of them are just rip-offs from movies. You know, like when they made Batman Begins a video game.
Oh yeah.
X-Men and
Spider-Man 2 was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I mean, after that, what happened? Like the game in the movie.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich.
You know, but I think a lot of things happened with Paul Dini leaving that time, leaving the whole script, like kind of like, oh, it's on your own. I feel like if he would have still been there, I think the story would have been much better. So, like I said, the story is about Batman trying to beat Scarecrow, and throughout the way, obviously, you have to go through villains if you want to. If you could literally go through the whole story and not deal with none of the villains and just deal with Scarecrow and the Arkham Knight. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, and then Poison Ivy's like apparently like she's like I join your side because they're hating on my plans.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I mean basically, I think that was one of the most disappointing parts. The villains weren't that like.
I think they also botched some of the villains.
Oh, the fights too, man.
All the fights too, but like Killer Croc, what the hell did they do?
Oh, they like he became Super Croc.
Yeah.
He looked like a crocodile.
He looked like a crocodile from Donkey Kong.
Really? King Rule or something was it? But King Rule, or I forgot his name. But anyways, I think disappointing part. I'll start with the Batmobile. The Batmobile basically became like a crutch for some missions, or it became like in main missions, like to fight people. Like, oh, you need the Batmobile. Like, really? Do you really need it? It came in handy like for the Riddler. I think a lot of people are upset like the Riddler's like, why are we racing during the Riddler challenges? I was like, I think it's way different than what you were getting from the last two, which was kind of like find the riddle or solve it, like find it what is it everybody's talking about. But this was nice. It was you're kind of like driving it around and challenges stuff. That was cool. But when you start making it like a villain fight where like, oh, take down this tank, and it's like, really? Again? This is the main part? And
we don't know what to do. But put in the Batmobile.
And like, there's one point where once you beat a certain level, Deathstroke comes out. And basically, in Deathstroke in Origins, he got a great reputation when it came to fighting Batman. You get to fight him like hand to hand. It was great. It was great combat. They brought him here. And you're like, you're gonna get it again. And they're like, no, you beat him in the tank, and there, boom, you knock him down. It basically looked like they were giving a finger to Origins.
Yeah.
Like, here, take this, you crappy ass characters. Like, really? Come on, don't be petty. But yeah, I think the Batmobile just became too much of a crutch for them. Like, they wanted to use it for almost every goddamn thing. I didn't mind using it during the city. You do the beautiful glides all over the place. You could destroy shit. It was like a tank. It rode like a Ferrari, but it felt like a tank, you know. But it was.
Does it come in black?
Does it come in black? Yeah, it also comes in green too. It's a Joker's car.
You're fucking with me.
No, it's a. You can make it into the Joker car. But anyways, yeah, the boo on the Batmobile. You had a great thing, and you kind of ruined it by putting it too much
of a good thing.
Too much of a good thing. I think we can move on to the villains. I feel like the villains fights were depressing. It's like at one point you're fighting Two-Face. They basically kind of just like you're hunting down. You're basically taking down banks that he's attacked, and then finally to the last bank, you basically face him, and he's like a crony. You just find him and you just punch him like a couple times like a regular like thug, and then he's down. You literally could beat the shit out of Two-Face right away, and everyone else is still like the thugs are still around. And I was like, oh my god. Also, Hush. Oh, Hush. So Hush, basically.
Tell me to shut up.
Hush was basically one of the probably the best creations that came out of like the recent DC Comics of the decade, right?
Yeah, like it's a decade.
Of the decade, and basically gave a hard time for the Batman in the comics, and then they implemented him into the game, starting in Arkham Asylum. Yeah, it took me a while. I almost had a stroke. But they had little Easter eggs, which was one of the fun things about Arkham games, the Batman games. They had a lot of Easter eggs. Oh, my neighbors. So, anyways, they basically were Easter egging him in the beginning. The first one they had and if you looked at a chalkboard, they had Thomas Elliot's name, and you're like, whoa, here's Hush. Hush is in the game. And no, he wasn't. It was just his name. Anyways, and then in Arkham City, they basically.
He wasn't.
But in Arkham City, they did this whole side mission, which was a crime mystery where you had to find bodies, and their faces were being cut off. So once you solve all of them, and to the end, you find this one building where you find the murderer's location, and it was Hush, which was the Thomas Elliot, which is Batman, Bruce Wayne's old friend, who basically tried to kill his parents, not Bruce's parents, his own parents, for the money, for his wealth, obviously.
Well, who wouldn't? Who
wouldn't? So I mean, basically, he was trying to get revenge on Bruce. So he's basically at the end, Hush removes his
face off.
No, his I guess wrap with his bandages, his known bandages that he always has he's literally his mask. He's just wrapped up like a mummy.
Looks like Darkman.
Yeah, exactly, Darkman, and basically looked like Bruce Wayne at the end. And it was like and then he tells him like, "Oh, I'll deal with you later," because he escapes.
Was this game written by M. Night?
Right? Oh, it looks like Night was total blow off at the end. But then, so in that one, and so we move to Arkham Knight, and you think, what's gonna happen with Hush? And literally, he basically obviously looks like Bruce Wayne. He goes into Bruce's Bruce Wayne the Wayne Tower, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to hack into Wayne's computer to take all his money."
So this is Darkman.
Darkman, yeah, Darkman. And so then he basically he can't go into the mainframe because he's like, oh, it needs eye recognition. He's like, I don't have that. And he tries to get Lucius Fox, and then at one point Batman just apparently finally goes into
What you need to do is you need to go pick something up at the tower.
And then you run into Hush, and then literally he's like, "Oh, who are you?" And then Batman reveals that he's Bruce Wayne, and he's like, "You're Bruce Wayne?" And then literally all he does is just grabs him and body slams him to the table, and that's it. Literally in the comics, Hush is super badass. He literally is
he's
about
equal.
he's about to kill Batman, and then somebody helps him out.
Yeah.
So in this, it's like, what the hell happened? And it looked like they just didn't know, didn't have a story. That's what I'm telling you. When Paul Dini left, I think that just. Nothing.
And then they redid the mission, but for Mr. Pig.
Oh yeah, for Mr. Pig, you kind of just do the same thing. Yeah, they ripped off their own game, And from Arkham City, the whole mission looking for some body with no faces. They did it for some other villain in the game too. Oh my god, it was terrible. It was terrible. And then, like I said, some of the villains, their fight scenes weren't even great. The only fight scene that I loved was the Riddler. The Riddler was fun. You got to Mecha Riddler. He was in he literally was in one of an alien, like, you know, the machine.
Yeah, the Mars Attacks.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get away from her, you bitch.
Get away from her, you bitch!
That was Riddler.
The lifting back from
Yeah,
Alien.
that was basically Riddler. He was like, "Get away from me, you bitch!" And you fight. I mean, some of the cool things they did was they amplified teaming up with, obviously, with your sidekicks or your homies, which was Robin, Nightwing, and Catwoman. You basically, when you're fighting, when you're in the same room with them, you could switch off the characters, so you get to do their stuff.
Okay.
And which was fun. And they basically, you end up fighting Riddler with the robots and stuff. And I'll bring that up right now, where what they did in the second one, Arkham City, was where you could be Catwoman and roam around the whole city and do your own missions, was nice. And I don't understand why they didn't do it for Night, because they had like a shitload of heroes. They had Red Hood, they had Nightwing, they had Robin, had Catwoman. Yeah, Batgirl. I mean, not necessarily Batgirl, because remember, she was Oracle still.
No, but they gave her own DLC.
Yeah, but I mean, besides that, in the Night game,
Azrael.
Azrael, yeah. Which going to Azrael, so Azrael. Basically, the one that took over for Batman during the Nightfall, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, he in the second one came out and was like a big Easter egg during the time you spotted him. At the end, when you finally catch him the third time or fourth time, he would be like, "Hey, shit's gonna go down someday. The whole city's gonna be on fire." And you're like, "Whoa,
it's gonna be worse."
Yeah, it's gonna be in Arkham City. Like, he was all saying that it's gonna be worse. Gotham's gonna be on fire. Like, nice. Everybody's like super excited. Like, yes. And then
pumping you up,
and then
so
Arkham
bad.
Knight happens, and then nothing's on fire. I think were they implying on that moment where Scarecrow just gasses the whole city, because that was terrible.
What if they're saving that for the next game?
What next game? No, because in this one they kind of put that whole thing to rest, where Azrael comes out and he's like, "Oh, shit's going down. This is it, Batman. It's raining. Shit's on fire." And then you're giving a moment where Azrael is deciding to, like, they give you two options: either try to kill Batman, or accept to be the new Batman. Which Batman was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down for it." Like, he literally was like, "I'm down to make you new Batman." Like, he was up for it. Like, yeah, you could be Batman. You could be Batman. You could be Batman. This is what is it? What's that comic where everybody's trying to be Batman?
Fight for the Cow.
Fight for the Cow.
Battle for the Cow.
Yeah, you're all trying to be Batman.
And the only one that doesn't want to be Batman is Nightwing, and he's the one that ends up being Batman.
He ends up being Batman.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah. So, I mean, literally, that happens. You either could try to kill him, and then he'll just pwn you and put you to prison. Or you could try to be Batman, and he'll train you, apparently, and later on you'll be Batman.
Doesn't he still pwn you?
No, you after you accept it, you have to train like him for a bit. Like, you have to do that training, and then apparently he'll call you up, like, "I'll call you when we're ready." And like, okay. And then he leaves. Which pisses me off, because, like, why didn't he try to save you during the end? So literally, during that whole thing, like I said, go back to the story, Batman finds out that Jason Todd's alive as well, apparently. And it was terrible, because you're like, what happened to Arkham Asylum, Arkham City? What happened to Jason? Yeah, where was Jason Todd? And at that time, Arkham City introduced the new Robin, right? Tim Drake, which is the third Robin. And he was already an adult, or kind of, right? You're already older. Adult. So it's like, how long did you, like, and how old was Tim Drake during that Robin phase, right? Because he looks like he's been doing it for a while. 20s. Yeah, so it's like, what the hell happened? So I feel like they botched their own story.
He's just a really buff teenager.
No, he's already married. Well, he's getting married, right?
And that's what pissed me off too.
You get married at a young age.
No, well, check this out. Shut the hell up.
Let me draw some evidence.
Cruz, my friend, man that had a big problem with Tim Drake marrying who?
Shut up.
Who did he try to marry?
Shut up.
Who?
Barbara Gordon.
He married Barbara Gordon. Bad girl.
That's Dick's girl.
Dick Grayson, Nightwing, that's his gal. And apparently it changed it up because it was going to be different and saucy. And I don't understand why, right?
No.
There was no reason to change it.
But what's wrong with that? Love is love. True love is true love.
That's crippled love.
But there was no...
Wow.
Well, because they crippled it like by ruining the story. That's what I meant. Yeah.
That's pretty much true.
I like how even your stomach disagrees with you
Yeah.
on that one.
No, it agreed.
Yay.
Yeah. No, but yeah, they ended up doing that. They try to change a lot for this one where you're like shaking your head. But yeah, Jason Todd ends up being the Arkham Knight because apparently that makes sense.
It does.
It doesn't because it led a lot of people were thinking that
his son.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I would have wanted. That would have made sense. Like it didn't. Yeah, no problem. But nothing. It almost felt like every game was leading up to something during like each game. Like the first one was like Joker was like, oh, what the fuck's going to happen after they, and then they had Easter eggs for their own game where if you blew up a part of a wall in a certain spot, it would open a map of like the new game, and I was like, what the hell?
I saw the behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then there was one where Bane and Scarecrow like ends up getting like the formula or some bullshit. Yeah, and in Arkham City, like I said, they were leading up to Hush and all that stuff. So every game was leading up to something, and it wasn't too secretive. Like everybody's like, oh my god,
You knew what it was.
yeah. And then Red Hood or Jason Todd, they just brought him up, and it's funny because a lot of people were thinking, oh, that's Jason Todd, Arkham Knight. Everybody right away is like, oh, that's Jason Todd. And everybody's like, no, like the creators were like, no, no. And they literally made a DLC for Jason Todd, the Red Hood, just to say that it wasn't. Right? Right away, the first day,
What gave it away was the damn hood.
Shut up.
Yeah. No, Getaway was, the hood, right? The mask?
The mask.
Yeah, because it looked like the same mask of the Arkham Knight. They're like, no, see, they're different.
One's black, one's red.
Yeah, obviously. Blue though.
Oh,
it was blue. But anyways, yeah, they kind of just threw in that thing and I kind of felt like that was kind of just lame. Like, you're trying to change a whole character story.
You had great battles. You had Joker in the first one.
Yeah, and then Clayface.
Rachel Gould
and
Clayface.
And all this. Oh, and Solomon Grundy.
And then you go to Arkham Knight. Nothing.
Arkham Knight, you had
flip
like
them, done.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm telling you, the only best fight was the Riddler, and the game was disappointing. It just kind of felt like it just rushed it, and like it was funny because the best part of the game too was Joker coming back as a hallucination.
Oh, and you get to decide to kill Rachel Gould or don't kill him.
Oh, but that's the DLC, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, and the DLC.
Oh, okay. And then we got to Arkham Knight.
Batman. I think that was their first interpretation, or not interpretation, but it was leading up to how, the Bat Who Laughs. I think that was their first look at it, right? Cause,
Yeah.
The Bat Who Laughs is a new villain in the comic books, which he's basically Batman in another world.
Is that the statue?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And he basically turns into Joker. And this one, they were kind of doing it before them.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It was kind of nice to see that. I didn't notice it until
he was
now.
getting all veiny and
so it was. You basically kind of look at what almost.
I did like that though.
Yeah, no, that was nice.
He had Joker in his head the whole entire time.
No, that was fun.
Yeah.
I think that was fun. I liked that all that Joker stuff was nice. It just everything.
Anything that just have Mark Hamill in the game.
Yeah, but yeah, the game ended it kind of shitty. Basically in the game, you kind of just like get in a van with Scarecrow, and then you end up just like, okay, I put a gun at you, and then like you just kind of go into that whole dream sequence with Joker, and then at the end you basically beat Joker in your dreams. Like you kind of like finally beat him, where you throw him away into a forever pit in your mind, and then you wake up and Joker's like, why aren't you affected by my scare thing? Because everybody basically finds out that you're Bruce Wayne. They reveal your mask. You're like, Bruce Wayne's Batman. He's rich. What? It wouldn't make sense.
Why didn't I put it together?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Clark can't be Superman.
Yeah. So basically, it just kind of feels like when they were pointing the gun, fucking Red Hood or Jason Todd, the one that was trying to kill you, basically saves you for some apparent reason.
You're my father.
Yeah, and then just ends off like that, and just like, oh, okay. And it's funny because if you don't beat the game completely, you're still like, everybody in the game knows you're Bruce Wayne when you're trying to fight them. And it's just it's funny. It's nice that you get to hear villains like, oh, it's Bruce Wayne, but then it's like, wow,
That defeats the purpose.
That was it.
This guy,
Might as well just play the game as Bruce Wayne.
Basically, so yeah, the game was disappointing.
And then that Easter egg at the end, it's just.
Oh, and then the Easter egg, there was like you're Batman, you're the
Ghost Rider Batman.
Ghost Rider Batman. Yeah, the game was meh, and I thought this is disappointing.
I feel like playing it now.
Why? Yeah, I'm telling you, gameplay was nice, fighting stuff, everything was on point. Like,
you know what? I think the good thing we got out of it was the PlayStation.
Oh, the PlayStation. Okay, but yeah, gameplay was super nice. The visually looked super nice.
Looked beautiful.
Just the execution the writing was terrible. And you should definitely care about a game that like talks about Batman, which is based on writing.
Well, I mean, the story, like if everything's good, but you got a shitty story,
yeah,
in a game, you know,
yeah, I'm telling you,
what's the point?
Yeah,
if you don't care about the character, you are.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Yeah, and it did like, and then also like I said, I forgot about Harley Quinn and the whole Joker, the other Jokers that were infected with Joker's blood. Apparently, people were turning to Jokers. And that wasn't that interesting. Like they put too much effort into that.
Yeah, everybody likes to think they're funny these days.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. Batman was meh, and I'm sad to say it. But hopefully, the next game, hopefully the new one, which is the same people who did Origins. I hope they do a good job. And like I said, they did it. I don't remember who.
And they're calling it a prequel. So
no, supposedly it's a reboot. Is it? It's like a reboot.
Well, then that means it's going to change the continuity.
That's good though. Just change it now.
Right.
The ending was terrible.
It seems like even if it had been a good ending or a good game, kind of seems like you've done so much for it. It's kind of hard to top it.
Yeah, so he's gonna reboot it.
Why not just
reboot the shit?
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully the next Arkham.
I wouldn't mind a sequel to Origins.
Right? Yeah. Well, supposedly it was. Remember they were teasing that Suicide Squad game,
Yeah.
and then
would an Origins be a prequel?
Or no, but like a sequel to that Origins. Like,
it was just literally Batman in his early years.
The Rocksteady games tend to we're trying to ignore that game, but they couldn't because it was super great.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was me on a rant, I guess. This is just me talking about my feelings. I'm a woman. But yeah.
Treat me like a woman.
Yeah, so that was me, and hopefully you guys kind of got something out of it. Like some of your favorite games could be destroyed.
So go buy Arkham, now available in stores.
No, don't buy it.